Hello, everyone. I am going to react to Jeff Sokol, the most arrogant, asshole, douchebag, absolute unlikable, punchable face predator of all the predators, in my opinion. And that's saying a lot because there are a lot of predators who fit that description. But Jeff Sokol just happens to be, in my opinion, the very worst of the worst. And I'm going to get into why as I react to Wall's upload of Jeff Sokol Uncut.
What you see being edited behind me, you can see nowhere else. It is more compelling and disturbing than virtually anything you can watch on TV today. It is my complete interview with Jeff Sokol. He surfaced in our Predator investigation in Fairfield, Connecticut. A little bit of it aired on my syndicated show Crime Watch Daily, but now here on Hansen vs. Predators, you'll see the whole thing. Sokol came with food and an appetite for sex. He left after a very aggressive interview with me in handcuffs.
Here he comes. Dramatic zoom. Look at this fucking asshole. Just his face, the resting expression on his face. You can just instantly tell what kind of douchebag this guy is.
Jeff? Over here. You can come in this way.
And look, he doesn't even acknowledge her.
Sorry about that.
He's just got this stupid fucking grin on his face. The smug, arrogant grin of an absolute fucking narcissistic asshole.
I don't know, take 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. And the way he's playing it off like it's nothing, right? He doesn't want to admit that he went out of his way and drove 2.5 hours just to visit some random girl. He doesn't want her to think that she's special in any way. Right? He's, 2.5 hours, you know. So fucking annoying. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's a fucking long drive, Jeff. To meet some random person, not to mention she's 13 years old, some random fucking person you've never seen before. 2.5 hours. Yeah, that's a pretty long fucking drive, Jeff. But no big deal. I don't care. I don't care about anything. I'm a fucking douchebag. And then, oh my God. This is probably the worst moment of Jeff Sokol's encounter with the decoy. I mean, we all know that guy, right? The fucking douchebag guy, where's my hug? That type of guy. Now, obviously, most guys like that are not also predators. But when you combine that type of douchebaggery with the kind of person who would prey on children, you get the perfect, and by perfect, I mean the worst conceivable combination of characteristics in a human being. And that combination of characteristics comes together in the depraved individual of Jeff Sokol. So, first thing he does when he walks in the house is ask for a hug. It's all about him. He wants his hug. He drove 2.5 hours, which of course he plays off as nothing. He drove 2.5 hours, and the first thing he does when he walks in is he wants his hug. That's what he's here for. He's here for his own satisfaction. And all she's there for, in his mind, is to give it to him. He doesn't care about her. He just wants a fucking hug. He wants his hug. Right? He's not hugging her because he cares about her. He doesn't even fucking know her. Right? Not to mention the fact that she isn't actually even the person he was talking to, because he was talking to a decoy, obviously. But even if she was the real person that he thought he was talking to, I mean, he doesn't even know her. He just saw her in person for the first time, and he's already asking for a hug. Just think about it. Anybody who asks for a hug upon first meeting a person face to face, right? In my opinion, that's just a weird thing to do, right? I don't know. Maybe if it's like a first date and it's like a mutual thing where you're both going in for the hug, that's different, right? This is not, there was absolutely no indication on her part that she wanted a hug. Look at her body language. And by the way, Nervous Nelly, the best decoy in all of the Predators, whether it's TCAP or Hansen versus Predator, the best decoy. Actually, a legitimately skilled actress. Her body language is screaming, I do not want to be touched, right? So imagine you go on a date, a first date, and you've never met the person before in person, and you see them, and they have the body language that Nervous Nelly does. If the thought of, I'm going to go in for a hug right now, if that thought occurs to you, you might possibly be a No, you're not a predator. You're not, like, something's wrong with your brain if that thought occurs to you. You should be able to read the signals, right? And I don't think Jeff Sokol is a socially handicapped person. I think he very clearly can read the signals, but he's a fucking asshole, douchebag, predator who doesn't care about the signals, right? He wants to assert himself on her because it's not about what she wants, right? Obviously. No shit, it's not about what she wants. She's 13. She doesn't even know what she wants, right? He thinks she's 13. Okay. Sorry. the hug, going for the hug, man, first thing, just really fucking triggers me. But let's try to make a little more progress here.
Nervous.
Oh, you're giving me a hug?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'll settle into it.
Okay.
So,
Fucking smile. Oh my god. So his reaction to her turning him down says so much. Just the way, let's go back a little bit. So the way, look at this.
I'll settle into it.
The defeat, like, oh my gosh, that very small little sound he makes. Listen.
I'll settle into it.
That oh, the complete and utter disappointment, right? He goes like, but then he masks it with a laugh right after, so he tries to cover it. But it is so obvious that he is so disappointed that she's so nervous and shy, right? Because again, he doesn't care about her feelings. The only way in which he cares that she's nervous and shy is because it's going to make it more difficult for him to rape her, right? That's the only reason he cares. But it's so obvious he's disappointed, right? Look at also how his posture changes. Look, upright, maintaining eye contact, hand on the table.
I'll settle into it.
I'll settle into it. Look at this. Look, leans forward, kind of, defeat, resignation, like, oh, fuck, man. Like maybe I'm not going to get to rape her tonight, right? Because, come on, Jeff wasn't going to force himself on her, right? At least I think he wasn't. Maybe he would have. I don't think he would have, right? I think he's a little too smart to do that. So we realized, man, if this girl isn't going to let me rape her, right? Quote unquote, let me. Fuck, man. Like I'm not gonna get to fuck tonight. And I think that's what's going through his head right now, is he's realizing that.
Can I teach you batches?
The small pizza is like almost as big as the big one. So
This fucking moron.
I didn't know that. 'Cause, like, you said small, I thought it would be like a really small one.
Yeah. Sorry.
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Oh my god. Okay, so this is the first time we see Jeff Sokol just trying to make small talk, right? Just talking in the kind of casual conversation that you would make at any like at a first date, right?
Yeah.
I didn't
And
pizza.
it's so fucking awkward and weird, and just to me it speaks to how incompetent Jeff Sokol is socially, but also how he doesn't realize that incompetence. Okay.
It's like almost as big. The
So he thinks that this is like
the small pizza is like almost as big as the.
this is like an interesting point of conversation that like she is going to be somehow interested in.
Big one.
The size of the fucking pizza, right?
I didn't know that. 'Cause, like, you said small, I thought it would be like a really small one.
Just
Yeah.
look at his smile, his laugh. Like he thinks that he is just utterly captivating whenever he speaks, right? When you can just see it in his face. Whenever he speaks, you can tell that he thinks that what he's saying is so important and needs to be listened to. Even when he's waffling about the size of the fucking pizza, right? You can see it even then.
Sorry.
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
And that, again, it tries to divert to a casual conversation about the size of the pizza, but instantly, right? His mind is only on raping this 13-year-old girl. And so what he's concerned about, and his mind returns instantly to it, right after talking about the pizza, is she going to be down to fuck? Right? That's all he cares about. Are you sure you're okay? Right? Feigning concern. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I am. I'm fine.
Oh my god. Again, it's so disingenuous. Like, this guy is so fucking fake and inauthentic. Like, his smile, you can just see it. His smile is like, that's not a real smile. Like, what is, look at that. Look at that smile. Look at that smile.
Sorry.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. Yeah.
Like, that is the most predatory smile I think I've ever seen. Look at that. Look at that smile. That is disgusting. Like, that's not a friendly smile. That's like a psychopathic smile. I don't even know what kind of smile that is. Honestly, Jeff Sokol is the only person I've ever seen make this kind of facial expression. I mean, it's like he's literally staring down his prey, smiling, thinking about how much he's going to enjoy devouring it, right? Or in this case, raping it. It's disgusting. It's revolting.
Are you okay?
Turns away, licks his lips. Look at that. Because what he's thinking when he looks at her is he's thinking about fucking her. That's what he's thinking about. That's where his mind is. And so he wants to try to conceal his lust when she's watching him, obviously, because he doesn't want her to be disgusted. But as soon as he turns away, as soon as he knows that she can't see him, he can't help himself.
I'm okay.
Look at this. Look. As soon as he
Are you
turns
okay?
away, he fucking licks his lips like a fucking lizard. Like a fucking reptile. Oh my god. He is so disgusting. Have I said that enough yet, that he's disgusting? Okay. I really need to
Yeah,
go a little faster here. We're only 2 minutes in.
I'm fine. I am. I'm fine.
I've just never done this before.
I know.
Have you?
No, not really. I mean,
Are you telling me the truth?
I've met girls online, but I don't like come like this far to like meet someone. I don't know why
Okay, so this, I don't know why. I don't usually come this far to meet someone. I don't know why. Trying to downplay the effort that he put into driving 2.5 hours, trying to play it off like it's no big deal, like, you know, it's trying to come off as the cool, nonchalant dude, fucking douchebag that, like, doesn't really care, right? Because in his mind, like, for a 13-year-old girl, like, really caring and driving 2.5 hours is probably not a very cool thing to do, right? So he doesn't want to come off as like a desperate creep who drove 2.5 hours to rape a 13-year-old girl. He wants it to come off as just, you know, I just came over, right? Just a casual 2.5 hour drive to come over and rape you. You know, it just, again, it gets to him being such a disingenuous piece of shit where he has to act like he doesn't care. When in reality, right, he cares a lot. He cares a lot. That's why he drove 2.5 hours. That's why he thought up the marriage contract. He cares. He just doesn't want her to think he cares.
Crazy, huh?
It is crazy. Yeah, why did you let me come? If you're so
and this, I think,
nervous.
Why'd you let me come if you're so nervous?
If you're so nervous.
Here's what I think this is. This is Jeff convincing himself that he actually cares about the decoy. So him asking this question, I think this is a genuine case of kind of self-deception, where there's part of Jeff, right? Jeff is not an evil person, okay? He's not like an intrinsically evil person, whatever that means. There's a part of Jeff that there's somewhere deep inside of Jeff's rotten soul, there's a glimmer of hope, I think. And I think there's part of him, obviously, there's a part of him that knows what he's doing is extremely fucked up and wrong. And I think this is that part of him almost kind of getting out, where like it almost kind of slips and he realizes, wait, like why am I here? Like, you're nervous, and there's part of me that understands exactly why you're nervous, because you're 13 and I'm however old he is, 44, I can't remember. We'll find out later. So there's part of him that knows, like, this is super fucked up and you should be nervous and I shouldn't be here. And so I think in the way the mask kind of slips here, because he's like, why did you let me come? Right? Because he knows he shouldn't be there. Why did you let me come? It's so revealing.
It's far to like meet someone. I don't know why
It's kind of crazy, huh?
It is crazy. Yeah, why'd you let me come?
Why'd you let me come? Like, there's almost like, for a second there, it's almost like he realizes. Now, of course, I think he realized all along, but for some reason he lets it slip here.
If you're so nervous.
As though she shouldn't be nervous, right? As though it's on her to be okay with a random, strange 40-year-old man coming to her house alone at night to rape her. As though you shouldn't be nervous about that, right?
Seems like a good idea, and you seem nice.
And that, I think, a really good response from Nelly there. Like, just the typical, like, really kind of immature, not very thoughtful or careful reasoning that a 13-year-old would have, right? Just like, oh, it seemed like a good idea. Just kind of whimsical, spur of the moment kind of thing, right? I think that's a good response.
Why do you think I came?
Why do you think I came?
I think I know.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So that right there. That, I think that is the single best moment of acting in all of the Predator shit. Single best moment. Just look at this.
Why do you think I came?
I think I know.
The head movement, the eye movement, even the way she fiddles her hands a little bit.
Why do you think I came?
Yes.
I think I know.
I mean, it's just perfect. It's textbook. Nervous Nelly, best of the best. It's a shame that she isn't like a famous actor now, you know?
It's not the only reason.
It's not the only reason.
It's not the reason.
It's not
What's
the
that?
reason. So I love this. I absolutely love this. He goes from, it's not the only reason, to it's not the reason. I love that. Very subtle, but there's a huge difference there. So at first he says it's not the only reason. Let's hear that again.
It's not the only reason.
It's not the only reason. Okay. It's not the only reason. That implies that it is the main reason. It's just not the only reason. Immediately after saying that, though, he realizes, oh shit, I just implied that, well, that is the main reason, even though it might not be the only reason. So then he feels the need to follow it up with,
It's not the reason.
it's not the reason, okay? So, so he realizes he fucked up. He realized that by saying the first thing, he basically implied that, well, it is the reason, it's just not the only reason. So then he says, well, it's not the reason. No, Jeff, it is the reason. It's probably also the only reason, but it's definitely the reason.
What's the reason?
And that moment, after Nervous Nelly asks, what's the reason, is him just concocting the bullshit that he's about to spew out of his mouth.
Just, been talking to you for a while, and you seem like really cool to hang out with, and someone that I'd like to meet. And
You seem really cool to hang out with, and like someone I'd want to meet. The most generic possible shit that could mean literally anything, that you could say to literally anyone, means absolutely nothing. Complete and utter bullshit out of Jeff Sokol's mouth. But what's new?
I wanted to check out the situation.
Check out the situation. I fucking love that. Check out the situation. What does that even mean? What does that... Okay. Imagine, again, a first date with someone, right? And they ask you, like, oh, well, like, why did you want to, like, go on a date with me? Like, what, like, drew your attention to me? And you're like, you seem cool. We were talking. I just wanted to hang out. And, like, I just wanted to, like, check out the situation. What the fuck are you talking about? Check out the situation. What does that even fucking mean? If you said that on a date, the person would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. What situation? What are you checking out? Oh, but wait. It actually does make a lot of sense if the quote-unquote date is going to meet a 13-year-old home alone to rape her. In that case, it actually does make a lot of sense to check out the situation, because you want to make sure that the situation isn't such that you're going to get caught. So in that case, it actually does make a lot of sense. So Jeff Sokol, again, ratting himself out here, admitting, I'm not outright admitting, implying that he knows what he's doing is wrong, because he has to check out the situation in order to do it. Right? If you're going on a date with another consenting adult, there's no checking out the situation. There's no situation. It's just a date between consenting adults. But what is a situation is a 40-something-year-old creepy fucking disgusting pervert like Jeff Sokol coming to a 13-year-old's house who's home alone. That is a situation.
Well, here we are.
So, let's deal with this whole contract thing, because I'm just going to be thinking about it the whole time until we get that out of the way.
This document was something Sokol put together after some research on the
Marriage
internet
contract.
to protect himself from getting in trouble for having sex with a 13-year-old girl. He talked about it in the chat along with a lot of other graphic topics. It didn't
work. I love that. I love that from Hansen. Listen.
Along with a lot of other graphic topics. It didn't work.
It didn't work. Great inflection there from Hansen. Just classic. So let's see. So he doesn't, right? He wants to fuck the girl, okay? And he doesn't want anything to potentially compromise that possibility. And one thing that could really compromise that possibility is him scaring her off with this weird fucking marriage contract he came up with. Okay? So he doesn't want to, quote unquote, muddy the waters, right, of their interaction by talking about this fucking marriage contract. Because that, right, for a 13-year-old in his mind, like that would probably fucking scare a 13-year-old and would make them want to not have sex with you. So he wants to secure the bag, okay? That is all that's on Jeff's mind right now. He is about, as we're going to see in a second, he's about to get fucking loaded up with his fucking boner medication, ready to go. That is all that's on his mind, right? The marriage contract will come later, okay? That he doesn't want to risk that getting in the way of his main, well, as we saw before, what really is the reason why he's here.
Okay. There's plates behind you if you want to grab one. Huh? There's plates behind you if you want to grab one. Do you want a water or anything?
No.
And this is, oh my God, perfect, just the exemplification of Jeff Sokol's douchebaggery, right? We all know the person who turns down a favor or an offer or anything like that, right? Because they don't want to be indebted to you. They don't want to owe you anything. Classic narcissist behavior, right? You can't accept something, even something as trivial and small as a fucking water bottle. You can't accept, because in accepting it, you're implicitly owing that person something because they gave you something for free, right? A water bottle. And Jeff Sokol's just egotistical fucking brain cannot handle that. So his gut reaction, and I have a feeling that this characteristic of his manifests in a lot of his social interactions. His instantaneous reaction to being offered water is to turn it down in a kind of dismissive, carefree, nonchalant way. Like, nah, I don't need water. Like, I don't need anything from you. No, I'm good.
It's behind you. Do you want a water or anything?
Nah. Look at that fucking face. Like, trying to seem like, nah, I don't, like, nah. Like, I couldn't care less. I don't need anything from you. I'm good. All on my own. I can handle it. I don't need you to help me. I don't need your fucking water bottle, Nervous Nelly.
Man, well, I got this for in case we want to.
I'll grab a water.
All right, I will have a water.
And then the fucking switch up. Actually, yeah, I will have a water. So I mean, he probably actually wanted water, because who the fuck is going to eat pizza with, what's this?
Man,
Orange
well,
juice? What is that?
All right, I'll
Ocean spray. I think it's orange juice,
All right,
right?
we'll have water.
Who the fuck is going to eat... Yeah, that looks like an orange. Who the fuck is going to eat a pizza with orange juice? That's like the worst possible food beverage combination imaginable, right? You want something cold and refreshing, but not sticky and thick like orange juice. Orange juice is really sticky and thick in your mouth, right? You don't want that if you're eating pizza, because that's That's how pizza is, right? So you want cold water or you want like cold soda. You don't want fucking orange juice. So yeah, obviously he probably actually wants water, and he realizes that only after doing his natural reaction to being offered something, which is to decline it. He then reverses it and realizes, no, actually I do want it. And I think that in most interactions, Jeff probably doesn't switch it up because he doesn't want to be embarrassed. But of course, this is a 13-year-old girl over whom Jeff feels he has complete and utter control. And so I don't think he's really worried about being embarrassed for kind of switching it up there.
The table? What do you want to do?
Don't you just sit here?
Oh my! Okay, there's the predator smile again. Classic Jeff Sokol predator smile. The grossest facial expression that a human has ever worn on their face. Look at this. Oh my god! That is fucking meme material. If this was like a higher resolution, this would be a meme. I guarantee you. I mean, just like that is the most predatory stare you can possibly imagine. Like, if you think smiles can't be scary, you haven't seen Jeff Sokol smile. And I think there's also like a horror movie called Smile as well. You probably also haven't seen that movie. I haven't seen it either. But in any case, smiles can be scary. And Jeff Sokol is living proof of that.
Yeah,
and look at him was that him looking at his phone? Yeah, looking at his phone, pulling the old John Dupé, right? So John Dupé walks into the Sting house, just head buried in his phone, pretending not to give a shit when actually he's nervous as fuck. Now, that's not exactly what Jeff Sokol is doing here. Jeff Sokol isn't nearly as nervous or awkward as John Dupé was. But it's still him trying to convey the nonchalant attitude, right? The douchebag nonchalant attitude that Jeff Sokol, that is just inherent to Jeff Sokol's being, where he doesn't give a shit about anybody except for himself. And he's going to let you know, right? He's going to turn down your offers to do him favors. He's going to pretend like he didn't make a great effort to drive 2.5 hours out to meet you. He's going to pretend like, this is just a totally casual thing. I don't actually care about this. I'm just here to check out the situation. Oh yeah, you seem cool to talk to. Like, I don't really care about you, right? I'm just going to look at my phone like this is just a normal everyday occurrence. Like, this doesn't actually matter, right? All fucking in the same vein of Jeff Sokol being an asshole.
Yeah, I expected it to be like 2.5 hours, so.
You're from the Boston area, you said?
Yeah, can I wash my hand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have some family that lives up there. It's pretty nice.
Do you?
Yeah, I've been to Faneuil Hall.
Where's your family? Like, what part of Boston?
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
Boston's so confusing. It's wicked confusing.
What a pathetic reaction to her joke too. Like, just half-heartedly repeats what she says. Like, doesn't even give her a good chuckle or anything, much less eye contact. You're a fucking asshole. Doesn't want to acknowledge that anyone else can be funny or be like the center of attention or anything, right? Like, he has to be the one. We all know a guy like this. Again, right? There are parallels to everything Jeff Sokol's doing. It just happens to be that Jeff Sokol is much worse than most of the parallels. But we all know the kind of guy who hates it when other people get laughs, right? He wants to be the only one that gets laughs. Jeff Sokol is exactly that kind of guy, right? When somebody else makes a joke, I guarantee you, Jeff Sokol internally fumes. He wishes that he made that joke. And he gets mad that other people are laughing at someone else's joke. And you know what? I bet Jeff Sokol is also the kind of guy to repeat someone else's joke louder and more obnoxiously to try to get more laughs. Abso-fucking-lutely Jeff Sokol is that guy. I guarantee you, 100%. So he just brushes off Nervous Nelly's cute little joke there, doesn't really even acknowledge it. Classic fucking douchebag behavior.
I'm sorry.
Nervous Nelly being just so nervous, acting so well like a nervous 13-year-old.
I'll try to be cool.
Oh, it's okay.
We'll work on it.
I mean, you look great.
Thanks.
You just look different than what I than
I mean, you look great. Okay, so we see this. This happens with some predators, right? Where they point out how the decoy looks different, and most of them aren't kind of intelligent enough to realize that might come off in a derogatory way, like you look different, like i.e. you look worse than I was expecting. So Jeff Sokol actually, perhaps a hot take, I think Jeff Sokol is actually a pretty smart guy. And so one way that I think we can see his intelligence here is he preempts his saying you look different by saying you look great, right? So that's him setting up what could be perceived as a demeaning comment, right? The comment of you look different.
okay.
We'll work on it.
I mean, you look great.
I mean, you look great, right? So he knows that what he's going to say after might sound bad. So he starts off with you look great. Of course, he doesn't really mean that. He's just saying that to blunt the potentially negative way that the following statement could be perceived.
Thanks.
You just look different than what
look different.
than, like in the pictures. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I expected you to have dark hair. Did you?
My hair it lightens up in the summer.
And no, I'm not saying. I mean, I think you
You
look
don't
great.
like it?
I think you look great. I'm just saying, like you look
And this
different. Yeah. And then,
this is just classic groomer behavior. Like the fucking the complimenting is gross, obviously. But it's just the way that it happens is so one directional, right? Like she never compliments Jeff, as we're gonna see. Actually, let's just go ahead and see it, and then we'll comment on
Well, you never can tell with online things, you know?
What about me?
it. What about
Do
me?
I look different?
Oh my God! What about me?
I mean, you look different. I'm not saying better or worse, just different.
So of course she doesn't compliment him.
I have cupcakes too, if not.
And I think that his ego was a little bruised by that, right? You know, he said that she looked great. And for Jeff, a compliment isn't an altruistic deed, right? A compliment isn't a way to make another person feel good. A compliment for Jeff is an exchange. It's a reciprocal exchange. If he compliments someone, Jeff expects to get complimented in return. Okay? And when Nervous Nelly doesn't reciprocate, I think Jeff feels a little hurt by that. Right? I said you looked great. And all you're going to say is, you look different. I'm not going to say better or worse. Look at it. I think he's really hurt by that. I think his fragile, pathetic ego is a little bruised by that. He has no words, right?
I have cupcakes too, if not.
Let's see. Did you make them?
Look at those. Do you think I made those?
I have no idea.
No.
I have no idea. So, like any normal person, right? Let's picture ourselves in this situation, except obviously it's a consenting adult. If your date made cupcakes for you, and she asked you, "Do you think I made those?" What would you say? What would you say? Would you say, "I don't know"? No, you'd say, "Yeah, like, I'm sure you did. Those look amazing. I'm sure you're a really good baker." That's what you would say. That's what any logical, compassionate, reasonable person would say. Is, "I'm sure you made them. They look great. Good job." Something like that, right? But no, fucking asshole Jeff Sokol can't acknowledge anyone else's merits or skills, anyone else's but his own. So he wouldn't admit that another person is good at something, right? He wouldn't compliment another person, again, unless it was for his own benefit. The only reason why he complimented her earlier by saying she looked great was so that he could blunt the potential negative perception she had of him saying she looked different than she did in the pictures. And of course, the only reason he wanted to blunt her potential negative perception was so that he would have an easier time raping her.
Do you want to use plates or do you want to just...
Whatever you want.
Oh my god, do you want to use plates? Like looking down and then he looks up. It's so fucking creepy. What just...
Do you want to use...
You know, this entire time, this is why I think he has this stupid fucking grin on his face this whole time, is he's thinking about raping her. The images, now that he sees her in person, right, he can more vividly imagine it. He can really picture it. And that's all he's thinking about this entire time, throughout this entire conversation. That's why he has this little fucking annoying smile on his face the entire time. He can't wipe it off, and he's looking down here, picturing it, barely able to fucking get his words out.
Whatever you want. We're pretty casual.
So
here.
excited. Here we go. Here, the fucking pill. Here we
Well, you
go.
already ate it, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
I was wondering if you were gonna be like, how would you?
Oh, I thought when he was taking out his phone, he was taking out the pill. Not quite yet. Just in a sec.
Would you be like totally like you've done this before?
Oh,
you know,
definitely.
This is just so fucking weird. Like, it's just from this part of the conversation, it's so obvious that Jeff Sokol knows what he's doing is weird and wrong, right? Like, I was wondering how you would be, how nervous you would be, like, had you done this, like what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, if you have to worry about the person you're coming to see, how nervous they're going to be, doesn't that kind of tell you something about, like, how what you're doing might be fucked up, if not completely and outright immoral and illegal, right? Like, doesn't that ring some bells? No, if you're Jeff Sokol, you don't give a fuck. You don't care about other people. You don't care about other people. The only reason he cares about, again, I'm just fucking repeating myself at this point, but the only reason he cares that she's nervous is because that will make it more difficult for him to rape her.
I've done this before.
like, I don't know, you just seemed very, very, like, you didn't seem nervous at all.
You seem very... Here's what he wants to say there. You seem like you don't want to let me rape you. And I'm really fucking pissed about that. When I was talking to you online, you seemed so cool and chill and like you would just let me rape you, right? But now I'm here and you're so nervous and you're so shy and you're so aloof and I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to rape you tonight. That's what he really wanted to say. That's what was actually going through his mind. Jeff Sokol, translator.
When I talk to you and just in
Well,
general.
it's different when you're talking to someone online versus like
person.
coming to their house and
Yeah,
meeting.
no fucking shit, Jeff. It's different in person. This fucking asshole, right? Just another indication of how fucking little this guy cares. Is right? He doesn't even have. He doesn't even have the level of empathy. Sorry, I'm getting so tripped up just fucking ranting about Jeff Sokol here. The basic level of empathy to think about how a 13-year-old girl would feel in a situation where a 40-year-old man comes over to meet her. I don't think it ever crossed his mind what she would feel or think, right? Because he doesn't care about that. All he cares about is his own pleasure. And so now he's getting faced with the reality of her feelings. Because in this instance, her feelings, her nervousness, her anxiety about the situation is kind of an impediment to their interaction. So this is the point at which he starts to care about her feelings. But not actually, of course. He doesn't actually care about them. He only cares about them for his own benefit.
Them.
I just gotta take something.
Here we go, the fucking pill.
This isn't drugs, it's just
This isn't drugs.
Here, drink water.
it's something that I take before I eat.
It's something I take before I eat. So Jeff, you are such a fucking moron. This isn't drugs. It's just something I take before I eat. So what would you need to take before you eat? Are you taking a vitamin? What is it? A fucking, like why do you need to take your vitamin at this particular moment? You can't take your vitamin later or in the morning or something? No, obviously it's a fucking drug, right? If it wasn't a fucking drug, you wouldn't need to take it at this precise moment. So, obviously, it's a fucking boner pill. I don't think that really needs much debate. But, you know, maybe he could play it off as like, I don't know, some kind of like digestion medication or like a gas medicine or something like that, right? That he could play it off like that. In that case, why wouldn't he just say like, you know, I have like some stomach problems. I have to take this before I eat. Oh, well, probably because that would be kind of fucking weird to say in front of a 13-year-old girl, because that kind of reveals how fucking old and pathetic you are. That you need to take pills before you eat so that you don't fucking blow your ass out or throw up afterwards. I mean, you know, that's not exactly the kind of thing that 13-year-old girls are attracted to. So it's kind of a lose-lose here for Jeff. Either he admits he's popping a boner pill, which, you know, doesn't look too great, or he admits that he's a fucking old dude with bowel problems who can't hold down his food or who has gas issues and therefore needs to take a pill before he eats for that. There's no other plausible explanation of why he would have to take a pill at this particular moment, right? Any other drug, you could take at another time of day with a different meal. Okay, so there are two possibilities, neither of which looks particularly good for Jeff. So all he can do is play it off by saying, this isn't drugs, it's just something I take before I eat. Absolutely brilliant.
In the middle of it all, Sokol pulls out a medicine bottle. You can see it on the video. He takes a pill, apparently in preparation for what he thinks is going to be a big night ahead.
We get great Hansen interjection there, just helping us to understand the situation. Thank you, Chris.
What have you been doing all day?
I'm just hanging out.
Just hanging out. Just hanging out.
Watching TV, Netflix and stuff.
Good answer by Nervous Nelly there. Realistic 13-year-old behavior.
I have no idea. Do you want me to check?
So I don't know what that sound was. I don't know if that was planned or what. If they had like a signal, like, you know, like if it goes on for too long, I'm gonna knock and then you can come back here or what. But yeah, I mean, this is one of the longest pre-confrontation interactions in really all of this Predator stuff. So, you know, maybe they had a signal that like after 5 minutes or something, we want to pull you out of there. We don't want him making a move on you, right? We don't want him like actually trying to fuck you. So, you know, after 5 minutes, let's call it. And I don't know. I don't know if it was planned or if it was actually just an accidental noise. I'm not sure. But in any case, it leads to a great confrontation. So let's see.
No.
Nervous Nelly getting the fuck out of there.
Who's this?
The arrogance of Jeff Sokol. He is in somebody else's house, a stranger's house, and his reaction to someone else being in that house and greeting him and seeing him is asking, "Who's this? Who's this?" Not even in a polite, inquisitive way, like, "Oh, who's this?" Like, "Oh, who are you?" Like, "Oh, I didn't know anyone else would be here." No, in a demanding way. "Who's this?" Like, "I demand you identify yourself to me, Jeff Sokol. I am in your house. I am a random stranger in your house here to rape your, well, who I think is your daughter, your 13-year-old daughter. But no, you identify yourself to me."
I'll get to that in a minute. Who are you?
Oh my god. Okay, so this is gonna be a really long video. I'm not even halfway through this. Okay. All right. So this expression on Chris Hansen's face is just priceless. I think Chris just knows that this is going to be one of his best confrontations ever. He has so much. I mean, obviously, he has so much on every Predator. But the thing with Jeff is so arrogant. And yet, the stuff Chris Hansen has is indisputable, right? Jeff is wrong before the confrontation even begins. So Chris knows he's going to win the confrontation, obviously. So I think that face from Hansen is his gleeful, absolutely gleeful anticipation of dismantling the arrogant douchebag that is Jeff Sokol.
What kind of pizza we have tonight? Who's this?
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that face. He is so happy because he knows how arrogant Jeff is, right? So, certain Predators, Chris doesn't come in like this, right? A lot of Predators, Chris comes in like probably genuinely concerned and maybe even a little sad or empathetic. You know, you think like Ambrosio, right? A young guy, overweight young guy, obviously has issues. Not so with Jeff Sokol. No. Chris Hansen knows this guy is a fucking douchebag who doesn't have has no exculpation for what he did. There's no excuse, right? There's no explanation. There's no fucking depression like Vincent Ambrosio. There's no fucking schizophrenia like Dark Hero. There's nothing, right? Jeff Sokol, he has a good life. He has, I mean, not everything going for him. I don't want to say he has everything going for him, but he lives a good life, right? He has absolutely no reason to be here doing this. And yet he is. Just because he's a predator. He's a piece of shit. And Chris Hansen knows that, and he's going to absolutely dismantle him. Because Chris Hansen knows he doesn't have to hold anything back, right? There are no extenuating circumstances with Jeff. Even though in the interrogation, we're going to get the sob story about the depression and OCD and all that bullshit. That is not connected to this at all. I refuse to believe that his OCD and depression is at all connected to him trying to fuck a 13-year-old.
I'll get to that in a minute. Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you? The demand of Jeff Sokol, still with the grin on his face. So at this point, obviously, he knows he's not going to get to fuck the 13-year-old anymore. So he's no longer grinning in anticipation of that. At this point, this is just the default Jeff Sokol fucking punchable face. The most punchable face in the world. Wouldn't you love to just nest your fist right in that cozy spot right there? Oh, man. I know I would. And those fucking gaps between his teeth is absolutely disgusting. You know, he really should have pulled a John Dupay and just kept his mouth shut until it was absolutely necessary for him to open it. Because this is just despicable. I mean, he looks like a fucking child with those gaps between his teeth. Except on a child, they look cute. On Jeff, they just make him look like a gross creep. And, you know, for people who have gaps like this, totally fine. You're totally fine and valid. But if you're a predator, you're gross and disgusting.
You tell me first. You're Jeff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff. Hanging out.
Hanging out. I'm just hanging out.
Hanging out with whom?
With her.
Who's her?
I want to know who you are.
I want to know a little bit more about you first.
Oh my god, the arrogance. And then he takes a sip.
Now
Again, trying to give off the completely nonchalant attitude. Can I eat first?
Sure, go ahead.
So this is actually another case of Jeff Sokol being smart. I know this is going to sound crazy, right? Eating the pizza, smart move. I think Jeff instantly knows he's fucked. And I think that makes him smarter than a lot of predators. Now, obviously, that is an extremely low bar to be smarter than most predators. And I don't think Jeff is like an extraordinarily smart person or anything. Like, he's probably a person of average intelligence, but it just so happens that predators have well below average intelligence. So in being average intelligence, Jeff is actually well above average as a predator. So this is a smart move, eating the pizza while he still can, because he knows he's fucked. He knows that, I think he knows that this is connected to police, right? So later he's going to guess that Hansen is a detective. And obviously he was wrong about that, but he knows he's fucked. And so he makes a smart move, eating the pizza while he can. That's a smart move, man. At least while you're getting grilled, while you're having the worst moment of your entire life, save possibly for the moments after that and possibly jail. Well, no, this would be worse than jail because he knows he's going to jail anyway. At least enjoy yourself, right? At least have some pizza. So smart move by Jeff, right? He doesn't freeze up. His arrogance actually serves him well in this case because he's able to enjoy himself a little more. He's able to blunt the pain of Chris Hansen's withering interrogation with a little sloppy slice of pizza.
Tell me who you are, because, I didn't know there would be other people here.
Tell me who you are, because I didn't know there would be other people here. Imagine walking into someone's house, right? So again, let's go with the date scenario. You, for whatever reason, right, you meet for a first date at someone else's house or apartment or whatever. Most people don't do that nowadays because people are fucking scared. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it should be a more normal thing. But let's say you do that, and let's say your date's roommate walks out, and this is how you react to their roommate walking out. Tell me who you are, because I didn't know there would be other people here. What? No, you would say, oh, hey, how are you? I'm blank's date. How's it going? You would introduce yourself like a normal fucking human being. You're the guest. You introduce yourself, right? You're not owed an introduction by the people who live at the place you're visiting.
Well, what did you expect to happen?
You know what, but I think Jeff Sokol is probably the kind of guy who would do this even if it wasn't this kind of situation. That's just how much of an asshole he is.
Didn't have any expectations.
Didn't have any expectations. So this is the moment where Jeff's demeanor completely changes. Look, just watch this change. So we go from this.
Tell me who you are.
Tell me who you are.
I didn't know there would be other people here.
We go from that, right? So that. Still not caring, or still giving the charade of not caring, to this. Watch this.
Didn't know there would be other people here.
Well, what did you expect to happen here tonight, Jeff?
What did you expect to happen here tonight, Jeff? So this question just, I think, brings it all crumbling down for Jeff. So there's this moment of shock, right? Like the minute of shock between Chris Hansen coming out and him asking this question, where Jeff obviously knows he's fucked, but it's kind of like the stages of grief, right? Like, you know that they're gone, but you're still denying it. Jeff knows that he's fucked, but he's able to kind of deny it for like a minute. But it doesn't last long. Just watch. Yeah, that's it. So look at that. Look at that stare. Look at that. So this is where the denial ends. This is where he knows, right? He has to accept it. He knows. That question seals the deal. From this point on, he knows he's fucked, and his demeanor shows it.
Have any expectations?
No expectations whatsoever.
No.
So you drove 2.5 hours?
Sure did.
Sure did. I love that. I love that. Sure did. Oh my God. Because he hates that Chris Hansen is implying that Jeff Sokol spent so much effort, right? Spent so much of his precious time, because he's so important and his time is worth so much, to come out to meet a 13-year-old girl who actually he isn't going to get to rape. So indeed, he ended up wasting all of that precious time. And he hates that Chris Hansen is implying that. It's hilarious.
From Boston
Who are you?
to come here.
That
your
deep
dad?
sigh.
To
I
meet a
love
young
that
girl?
sigh.
Oh, 2.5 hours
Sure did.
from Boston.
Who are you?
To come here
Are you her dad?
to meet a young girl.
Are you her
I
dad?
will get to that in a minute.
Just bite the pizza, Jeff.
go ahead,
Bite the
have a bite.
fucking pizza. The most
Wow.
disgusting,
To that in
the most disgusting bite of any food that has ever been caught on camera.
a minute.
I don't
Go
care
ahead, have a bite.
if you eat your pizza like this. Just hope to God that no one ever catches you on camera eating pizza like this, much less in a sting house while you're trying to, or right after you tried to come meet and rape a 13-year-old.
Bite.
Wow. I haven't done anything wrong.
Personally, I think it looks gross, but that's just me.
Go ahead, have a bite.
Wow.
I'm also
haven't done
vegan,
anything
so
wrong.
my opinions on food mean nothing, obviously.
How old are you?
What does it matter?
I'd like to know.
Why does it matter? So again, another question that's super normal to ask that most people would have no problem answering in the vast majority of circumstances. Like, oh yeah, I'm Jeff, I'm 47, nice to meet you.
I'd like to know.
Look at how serious he is. Oh my
I
God.
haven't done anything wrong.
I haven't done anything wrong. That's so interesting, Jeff, that you just offer that information without being prompted at all. I haven't done anything wrong. Why would you feel the need to say that if in fact you had done nothing wrong? Nobody who's done nothing wrong feels the need to come out and say, without being prompted, I've done nothing wrong.
Coming to meet somebody? What's wrong? What is that against
Coming
the
to
law?
meet a young girl?
Yeah, is that against the law?
It is.
Coming to meet somebody. So he goes from coming to meet somebody, what's wrong? He starts to say, what's wrong with that? Then he realizes, oh shit. There's obviously something wrong with coming to meet a 13-year-old. So I can't say that. I have to say, well, what's illegal about that? Because in Jeff's mind, and I don't think he actually believes this. This is just the story that he wants other people to believe. Jeff doesn't think it's illegal to attempt or have the intention of raping a 13-year-old, right? As long as he didn't do it, and you see this come up in the interrogation, as long as he didn't do it, he's fine. Now, obviously, I don't think Jeff Sokol is stupid enough to actually believe that. Jeff knows that the law includes attempt as a criminal act, not just the successful commission of the crime. So Jeff knows that, but he just wants to play stupid because he thinks that's his only way to get off. Obviously, it didn't work, as Chris Hansen would say.
After this chat,
How?
did you bring some kind of a contract with you?
The way he
For a
laughs.
marriage contract?
Oh, the way he laughs and fucking slurps up that pizza with his gross, disgusting tongue right after.
Some sort of marriage contract?
Look at that. Oh my God, that is so disgusting.
Let's see if any of this sounds familiar.
Oh, and Chris Hansen, like I said, he is having the time of his fucking life. Dismantling this arrogant asshole has got to be the most satisfying feeling. In my opinion, the very best of Chris Hansen right here.
Your pizza. I should come see you on Saturday. Well, since your mom isn't home, it's the best time to do it. I would, but only if you want me to. You say, I can't go to jail. My life would be ruined.
Right.
Could
Right.
be locked up for 20 years.
Yep.
Yep.
And then you say, do you trim your blank?
Okay.
Classic predator move. Tons of these assholes do this. Also, the weirdest fucking question that all of them seem to ask for whatever reason is, are you shaved down there? The weirdest fucking question. The most, like, obvious pedophile question ever. Like, no adult asks that to another adult. Ever. That's just a grooming, literal grooming. Literal grooming. Like, Dustin McFetridge style grooming. And of course, Jeff Sokol, a par for the course. He asked the same question, but he laughs it off like it's just a fucking joke.
Now you know that this girl is 13, right?
You know. Wasn't sure.
She's told you.
Okay. So, oh my God, wasn't sure. Wasn't sure. At this point, Jeff is just throwing shit at the wall. He really has nothing left. No explanation, no excuse. So that's the best he can come up with. Wasn't sure. Yeah, I mean, I guess that could technically be true, right? Like if he wasn't 100% certain that she was 13, it is technically true to say he wasn't sure. Of course, that's not what he's implying or what he's intending to convey there. So he's obviously still bullshitting.
This girl is 13, right?
Wasn't sure.
She's
Wasn't
told
sure.
you.
No.
Now, I mean, this goes without saying, but if he actually thought she wasn't 13, he would have vehemently denied that right there. He would have said, no, I was sure she wasn't 13. I thought she was blank, right? That's right. If you're really a smart predator, that's what you do. Now, obviously, that's still not going to work because they still have damning evidence. But if you actually want to convince people that you're innocent here, you would say, without a doubt, I thought she was blank years old, over the age of 18. I knew she wasn't 13. This is all a big misunderstanding. That's what you would say. You wouldn't say, after a pause, well, wasn't sure. No, you wouldn't say that, you fucking idiot.
That doesn't.
And you're what, 37?
That doesn't mean anything.
You're
That
37?
doesn't mean anything.
How old are you? You might as well just tell me because I can find out like that.
Who are you? Can you tell me who you are first?
I will tell you that in a minute.
Because now you're making me nervous, and
You're 44.
Now you're now you know how nervous Nellie felt, Jeff. Now you fucking get a taste of your own medicine. Except in her case, she was legitimately nervous because she was getting fucking, well, potentially, a girl was going to be raped by an old, creepy, disgusting, perverted man. In your case, actually, you're nervous because you just got caught trying to do that very thing. So it's a little different, Jeff. One might be a little more justified than the other there, buddy. But in any case, you got a taste of your own medicine.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? As a 44-year-old guy, I shouldn't be
44,
talking to
44.
13-year-old girls like this.
I think I said
Did want
47
to?
earlier. 44.
What am I supposed to make of that?
The sighs. Jeff Sokol sighs. He does this multiple times throughout the interrogation. And this is, I think, every time he sighs, it's the reality setting in deeper and deeper.
Sorry, I'm paranoid. For me to me, no.
And that it sets in so deep at this point that he can't even stomach another bite of pizza.
Potentially having sex.
He'll still drink the water though. He'll still drink the water that Nervous Nelly gave him.
But
That he didn't want initially.
The breaking the law comes from.
Right.
Look how serious he is
Punishable
now.
up to 20 years.
Right. Yep.
Did you bring condoms with you tonight?
Wasn't gonna do anything.
Wasn't planning on having sex.
Wasn't planning on having
You have
sex.
them in your car. I'm going to find out, so you might as well tell me now.
I don't.
He's so somber now, so somber. So now I think he realizes that, well, he's gonna quickly give up this this facade in the interrogation. But at this point, I think he realizes that maybe I should be a little more serious about this. Maybe I shouldn't laugh when he reads me telling the decoy that or asking the decoy if she shaved down there. Maybe I shouldn't just casually chuckle at that. Maybe I should try to convey a little more of a serious attitude, like I actually care. Now, of course, I don't think he actually cares, right? I think it's just a facade, but I think he's beginning to switch his demeanor here because he realizes it might be a little more tactical.
The car.
You will never tell anyone about us having sex.
Oh, so fucking weird. So fucking weird. Just, classic groomer stuff, right?
You sure? Okay, I could be there Saturday afternoon. Explain.
Great Hansen grilling. I mean, sets him up for failure. There's absolutely no way to explain that. And he knows it. He knows he's fucked. As arrogant as Jeff is, he has to admit defeat here. There's nothing he can say.
Wanted to come hang out and...
It looks like here you wanted to come here and have sex with a 13-year-old girl.
Okay, is that a good...
So one more attempt. One more. Final Hail Mary.
A lot to like...
They have sex with a 13-year-old...
This is so good from Hansen.
With a 13-year-old girl.
Okay, is that against the law to like...
They have
Is
sex.
that against... So he was going to say, is that against the law to come meet? Because again, he's still going to try, and he follows this line throughout the entire interrogation, right? He's still trying to follow the line of, well, I didn't actually do anything, right? All I did was come here, right? And again, I don't think he actually believes it. He's not that stupid. But he's trying to say, well, nothing actually happened, so I can't be held responsible.
Sex with a 13-year-old girl when you're 44? Yes, it's against the law.
Yes, it's against the law. Yes, Jeff, it's against the law to even attempt to do that. Even if your plans get prevented from coming to fruition, it is still against the law. It is against the law to plan to do that and to carry through with that plan, even if it's unsuccessful.
To meet a girl. That's all I've done.
You see
To meet a girl, to attempt. All I did was come here to rape her. I didn't actually rape her. I just came here to rape her. That's not illegal.
how this looks.
Okay, but...
You see how this looks. And I have a feeling Chris Hansen rehearsed this because he does this very theatrically. Watch this.
To meet a girl. That's all I've done.
You see how this looks.
You see how this looks. Multiple finger taps, very theatrical. Great from Hansen. You see how this looks. Classic Hansen line as well.
Okay, but do you also see that I was pretty apprehensive about the whole sex thing?
Well, wouldn't you be? Wouldn't anybody be if they're going to try to have sex with a 13-year-old girl?
Such a stupid excuse from Jeff. Yeah, you're apprehensive because it completely contradicts what he was saying before, right? If his intentions were pure, if all he was coming here to do was come and hang out, which is what he says, then why was he so apprehensive? Why were you apprehensive, Jeff? I thought you were only coming here to hang out.
To be honest with you, you're not going to believe me, but I don't know who you are, but I'm sure you're like, law enforcement. But
You think I'm law enforcement?
well, I mean, that's what it sounds like. I was thinking about this on the way down,
Right. You had 2.5 hours to think about it.
and
Oh, that's fucking great from Hansen. They're rubbing that in one more time. Like, just squishing his ego a little more. Just absolutely fantastic. And all Jeff can do at this point is try to laugh it off like he doesn't care. But that laugh just screams like it. Well, it screams, I'm trying to make it seem like I don't care, but I actually care a lot. And actually, that little zinger, Chris, that cut me straight to the core.
You had 2.5 hours to think about it.
and
Yeah. Oh man, he just got absolutely fucking burned there. And he knows it. He knows it.
And I'm not gonna risk it. That's
Not gonna risk it. What were you risking, Jeff? What were you risking if you were just coming to hang
what I
out?
said.
It's not normal for a 44-year-old guy to drive 2.5 hours to hang out with a
Guy.
13-year-old girl.
I wanted to hang out, see how she was, see if
A 13-year-old girl?
See how she
How often
was.
do you do this sort of thing?
He's so creepy.
never done it.
You've never done it. So tonight you just decided, okay, I'm going to drive 2.5 hours
Oh yeah,
down I-95 from Boston.
I've been talking to her
To this
for a little
house.
while, and she seemed cool to hang out with. I mean, what the
You can't find any
I had nothing else.
older girls?
I can, but I had nothing else going on.
So you decided...
Oh yeah. Oh, I can. Okay. Trust me, Chris. I can. Jeff wouldn't want anyone thinking he can't pull, right? Jeff pulls. Jeff fucks, okay? All the ladies are fucking after Jeff, okay? It's not out of desperation that Jeff drove 2.5 hours to rape a 13-year-old. No. It's not out of desperation, right? It's because he has so many other opportunities. Oh wait, no, it is actually out of desperation.
You just come out and hang out with a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah, you can clearly
Not just desperation, by the way. Also power and control. Jeff never had that much power or authority over the women he's dated in the past, I have a feeling. Kind of strikes me as the cuck type, who would feel really disrespected and slighted by a woman really doing anything that he didn't like or didn't have control over. And so this was an opportunity for Jeff to basically have someone submit to his will.
You can clearly see that I'm very apprehensive about the
Let's say we meet and really like each other and want to continue seeing each other. How do we do this? Like I said, as long as you're under 16, age of consent, parenthetically, nobody can know about it.
It's just, it's just an imaginary made-up concept, the age of consent. Quote, unquote, age of consent. What a fucking weirdo.
I just can't take that chance. What it sounds like here is you're grooming her, testing her to make sure it would be okay if you had sex with her.
That is what it sounds like, Chris. That is exactly what it sounds like.
Like I said, when I was on the way down,
Right.
I was thinking about the whole thing, and even before I left,
Right.
I was thinking I'm not going to have sex with her unless it's legal.
Unless it's legal. So Jeff just completely giving away the game here. Jeff does not give a fuck about ethics or morals or anything like that, right? The age of consent is in quotes for him. It's a fucking made up thing. It doesn't fucking matter. The only hope that Jeff can cling on, right? Because he knows he's a fucking disgusting person who is a complete piece of shit and no one will think that his intentions were pure. The only shred of hope he can cling on is that it wasn't illegal, right? So in Jeff's mind, if there's a world or a country that he can move to where he can legally have sex with a 13-year-old, it's fine. That's fine by him. No problem, right?
How about a plan to make it legal? To marry her. Right?
Yeah, not in 2 seconds.
Right. And to me, this whole thing just shows Jeff has no remorse. He doesn't care. And at this point, I don't know if he's changed, but he just seems like he can't be rehabilitated because he genuinely thinks he genuinely thinks he did nothing wrong, or he's so arrogant, he's completely unwilling to admit he did something wrong. He would sooner say the law is mistaken, that we should change the legal age of consent, than he would admit that he did something wrong, that he did something unethical.
I mean,
So if you liked her...
That's how arrogant
next week or the week after, you'd marry a 13-year-old girl.
not next week.
Not next week. No. Not in 2 seconds, not next week.
So after just a few days worth of chatting, you decide you love her?
No,
You want to have sex with her?
I don't know.
You want to marry her? What do you mean you don't know? She's 13.
Yeah,
I don't
good.
know.
Really good from Hanson there. Yeah, there's no acceptable response other than absolutely not. She's 13. I want nothing to do with her. It's not... There's no room for I don't know, Jeff. There's no room for that, buddy.
No, I was just throwing things out,
just throwing things out there. Just throwing things out there. Seeing if something.
Maybe it was,
So then you marry a 13-year-old girl because she's really cool and you could have sex.
After a while, if it worked out.
After a while, oh my god.
After a while.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, oh my god, Chris, yeah, dude, what? You don't understand this? Come on, we're all dudes here. We're all bros here. Come on, you'd fuck a 13-year-old if you could. You'd marry her. Come on. Come on, Chris.
Dating?
I don't know.
A romantic courtship?
Maybe.
So you're cool with all this?
So Jeff, and this comes out in his interrogation, Jeff wants to act like this is a problem with society. It's actually a problem with society that the age of consent exists, and that older men can't rape 13-year-olds. That's a problem with society, not a problem with Jeff. Jeff is so arrogant that he thinks society should accommodate his perversion.
You just think this is just fine?
Just fine.
Marching here to this home.
I know what you're
Well, what else?
I know. Right, Jeff has to assert his authority here. Like, I know what you're doing. Like, you didn't surprise me. Like, I knew you were gonna be here. Like, I knew what this was. I was just testing it.
What else am I supposed to think, Jeff?
Do I seem like a
Christopher
like
Cannon, by the way. Christopher Cannon, just testing it.
honest, dirty person? I mean, do I seem like it to you?
This chat seems like it.
Yeah. And Chris Hansen has to maintain a veneer of professionalism. So I know that what he wanted to say was, yes, you absolutely do seem like a dirty, disgusting person, Jeff. I'm looking at you. You do. But of course, Chris can't say that because he's still operating in some level of professionalism and journalism and all that bullshit, right? So he can't just outright say that. He has to say, but the next best thing he can say is, well, yeah, based on this chat, it actually does seem like you're a disgusting, dirty person. Because the things you said in this chat are both disgusting and dirty.
It seems like someone who at 44 years old.
Chat is chat.
Chat is chat, but showing up is showing up. And guess what, Jeff? You showed up.
Guess what, Jeff? You showed up. Great from Hansen. Yep. I mean, that just cuts to the heart of the issue, right? I mean, it's still a crime to solicit sex online, but you don't need to prosecute on that crime when you have an even worse crime, which is showing up to attempt to do the thing that you are soliciting.
At a home where you knew a 13-year-old girl would be alone after a sexually charged conversation online. You come in, oh, I want to hug you.
Yeah.
The little girl's nervous.
Do that to everyone.
Yeah.
You do that
Yeah.
every time you meet a 13-year-old girl.
I do it when I meet somebody for the first time. I hug them.
But this somebody...
Jeff actually is the type of asshole of whom that is possibly true.
An adult, Jeff. She's 13.
Please tell me who you are.
I'll tell you.
I'm trying to be nice here.
Okay.
I'm trying to be nice here. Dude, the complete lack of self-awareness to say this. I'm trying to be nice here. Like, I've been so nice to you, Chris Hansen. I've been so nice. I've answered all your questions. Like, the least you can do for me is identify yourself.
But you're not answering all my questions.
I will. Can you just tell me who you are?
I'm Chris Hansen, and this is an investigation called Hansen versus Predator.
Oh, his reaction when the cameras come out.
So if there's anything else you want
The little grin. He can't wipe it off his face. You know, I could wipe that grin off your face, Jeff. With one swift and brutal smack, I could permanently wipe that grin off your face. Too bad it's too late for me to do that. The moment has passed.
people to know, anything you want to say, now would be a good time to say it.
Oh, the arms crossed.
I can't believe this happened.
I can't believe it.
Did you
I
bring
can't
any
believe it.
sort
I
of
just wanted to come here to fuck. I can't believe it. I can't believe this is happening.
marriage contract?
No.
So what was all that talk about?
I don't want to talk anymore.
You can leave.
On camera.
You can leave.
What do you mean I can leave? So Jeff actually kind of smart here, like realizes he's not going to talk anymore, and knows that he's not free to go. Some predators are actually fucking stupid enough to think they're free to go. Jeff is not. Jeff knows that he's fucked, and he's going to be brought in.
And then what?
That's not up to me.
Who's it up to?
Who the fuck do you think it's up to, Jeff? Who do you think it's up to?
Me.
Another sigh, another big sigh. So another level of the reality setting in even deeper. This is the level where he's absolutely sure that he's about to get arrested. So it's great. It's all finally, it's all setting in. One more swig of water before he goes down to the station.
You didn't have to come here, did you?
Actually, I don't even know if he actually took a drink. Maybe they just cut it at a weird place.
What do you do for a living?
And that's the most annoying part about these predators, especially Jeff Sokol, is you can tell that they're just sad because they got caught, right? It's no remorse, it's no regret. He's fucking upset because he got caught. That's all it is. It's so annoying.
Talk anymore. There's
Insurance business, right?
cameras rolling.
There's cameras rolling.
Insurance?
Look at that guy.
As I said, you're free to leave.
Can you shut it off?
Can you shut it off?
I mean, what is this?
It's an investigation.
He already told you what it was, Jeff. Hansen versus Predator. Were you listening?
For a television program called Hansen versus Predator.
Hansen
where
versus
we
Predator.
investigate grown people who go online and try to create inappropriate, illegal relationships with underage children. So unless you have something else to say, now would be a good time to go.
I don't have anything else to say.
All right then. You can
He
take your
really
pizza.
doesn't want to go.
You want a slice?
He just
I'm
wants
good.
to sit there and finish his pizza. Come
So
on,
coffee.
Chris. And you won't accept the pizza? Come on. You know, when Jeff offers you something, that is a great privilege. That is a great honor. To be offered so prestigious a gift from so esteemed an individual as Jeffrey Sokol. After all, Jeff did open that pizza box like it was a fucking treasure chest when he walked in.
Take your pizza if you like.
You want a slice?
I'm good, thank you very much.
So to deny the treasure from Jeff Sokol, that's extremely rude, Chris Hansen.
So the cops here?
What do you think, you
We'll see.
moron? We'll see. Oh, that stare, that look from Chris
So the
Hansen is
cops there?
golden.
We'll see.
Oh my God, that smirk. Oh, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Okay. Or
Oh,
stay
the way
here,
he says
bring them
okay
in.
is so annoying. Just bring him in.
If you want that.
Jeff, another just perfect. Everything is perfect display of Jeff's arrogance. Bring them in. No, actually, I, Jeff Sokol, am the chief of police. I determine the operations of the police. You know what? I want to be arrested in here, sitting here eating my pizza. I don't want to go out there. Arrest me in here. I demand it. One more drink for the road.
Grab a jacket.
It's out for the garage.
What is he thinking at this point? Like, is he thinking there's some way he can get like what is he doing? Like, why is he being so tentative? What does he think is gonna happen? Does he think like if he creeps around in the right way, he's gonna somehow evade the police? Like why doesn't he? He still hasn't accepted it. He still hasn't accepted it.
Sokol was sentenced to 7 years in prison, serving a mandatory 30 months. He is eligible for parole in June.
Okay. All right. I need to end this video. This has gone on for too long. But I hope you enjoyed.